fuck with me on this for a second, real quick. Just fuck with me on this. All right, so in school, we're taught to learn, right? But the thing is, what is our idea of learning? To my understanding, at least here where I live, red, white, and blue, learning is pretty much who's better at memorizing, right? That's okay, because that's one part of learning. But what's the critical part of learning? The critical aspect that allows you to not only absorb information, but it also allows you to apply that same information to your life. Therefore, not learning useless information, because the information that you take in, you can apply it to your day-to-day life or teach it to somebody else and how they can apply it to their day-to-day life to get a desired result, right? Okay, we have that established. But the thing about it is here, we are not taught to think, and that is the issue. We are taught to learn, and we remember what the definition of learning here in this place is. But we're not taught to think, and that's the major issue. And I understand why the powers at be would like us not to learn how to think. And, you know, those type of things. But the point is that we are not taught how to think. Because somebody who knows how to think knows how to solve real world problems. I'll say it again. Somebody who knows how to think knows how to solve real world problems. So, when you talk about real world problems, who's the bigger percentage being affected by real world problems? The rich or the poor? Or let's put it in a different way. The powerful and the not powerful. Who's affected by that? I wonder. So there's another thing to think about. In school, they give you books. This is where we get our information from, so that we can build foundations upon the principles that they're trying to teach us, so to say, which can go way deeper than that. And we could even talk about why they teach us the things that they teach us, but we won't go that deep. All I'm trying to say is, when you have this book, you need to understand what it really is. Yes, the information in the book is highly valuable, extremely valuable. All information is valuable in the right hands. But the thing is that very book that you're so eager to conquer and absorb so that you can get a good grade, in turn, move forward in your education, and in turn, graduate or satisfy some type of goal, and in turn, have a better career, a better paying job, a better life, right? That's what they want you to think. That is why you're so eager to conquer that book. For the grades, for the recognition, for the acknowledgement. And we can go even deeper on that too. Because to be honest, the only person that you need validation from is yourself. And that's basics 101, you know? But we ain't talking about that right now. All I'm saying is this book is a spectrum, okay? You have one end of the spectrum and you have another end of the spectrum, right? So what happens as you are immersing yourself in this book so you can satisfy the need, you are being confined to that spectrum that is that book from the back cover to the front cover, and from the front cover to the back cover. That becomes your abyss. That becomes your trap. And therefore, as you are trying to conquer the information, comes the anxiety of, what if I am not good enough? What if I absorb all this information, but I still cannot pass the exam? If I don't pass the exam, I don't pass the class. If I don't pass the class, I don't go forward in my career. I don't get the job. I don't get the good paying job. I don't have the good life. You see where I'm going? The very thing that is supposed to be freeing you and guaranteeing your success so you can have a good life is the same thing that is terrorizing you, putting your mind in a box, and it's putting a cap on your ability to think for yourself. Interesting. So, what do? First things first, you become unafraid to think. Then you start practicing different ways of thinking by researching different ways of thinking throughout the world in different people or different groups of people, or however you want to do it. The point is you expand your consciousness to understand that there can be one issue and many different ways to look at it and many different ways to solve that issue. But if you are not taught to think, you're only going to see things from a limited perspective. And if you place that book on that pedestal, then guess what? You are placing that book above you, which puts you in a low vibrational state. So every time the thought of this book comes up, or every time the thought of the exam comes up, or every time the thought of you having to conquer more information in this book comes up, you may not notice it, but your body notices. Just a little flash of anxiety, doubt, grief, and stress. And over time, that compounds. So imagine if you're in school, from preschool all the way until adulthood. How much compounding is that? Because to me, it seems like a whole lot. And we're not even talking about the social experience that comes along with schooling and all the stress and all the compounding and all the sanctions. You got to be this, you got to be that, you got to look like this, talk like that, smell like this, walk like that. So this gets really deep. So what I'm trying to get at is trust yourself. Stop putting everything outside of yourself on a pedestal, because you are the one who is on the pedestal. And what does that mean? That means that the most important questions that you need to answer before you even begin to make a life in the third dimensional realm, they have already been answered. And the answers are within you. And once you're brave enough to find those answers within you, you can start to see the life that you want to see. Because you will learn to think for yourself. You will learn to trust your own opinion. You will learn to accept failure as another win, because you have more information on how not to make and repeat the same mistakes over. You see how that works? Failure is a win, not a loss. Failure is a win, not a loss. It's vital, valuable information for you not to commit the same mistakes, and for you to propel yourself forward through your goals, through your wants, and through your needs. The book is nothing to fear. The education system is nothing to fear. Your teachers and the exams are nothing to fear. It's all fear-based. And once you remove the fear and you start thinking for yourself, you can go back to those books and you can absorb all that vital information. And now this time around, first part, you're memorizing. Second part, thinking for yourself. third part, applying it to your life effectively and teaching others how to apply it to their life. You're welcome.